The Vanguard Total Stock Market Index Fund, also known more famously as VTSAX, is the largest fund in the world today. Not one of the largest, but it is the largest. With $2.2 trillion under management, it is bigger than most countries' economies, bigger than the entire GDP of Mexico, bigger than the entire economy of South Korea, bigger than the entire stock market of Australia. Yes, it is that big. And the reason it has gotten so big is not because it is some sexy fund that has some intricate formula of making money. No, the mechanic underneath is actually quite simple. The whole stock market, each company represented by market cap at the lowest cost possible. And that is exactly the reason why it has attracted so much money. Without all the fanfare that comes with most funds, VTSAX simply just works. So with that, let's unpackage this fund. My personal favorite wealth building tool. And hi, if you're new to the channel, my name is Tay from Financial Tortoise, where we learn to grow our wealth slow and steady. But before we go further, let me clarify something because a lot of people get confused about this. What VTSAX actually is. Let's talk Vanguard Total Stock Market Index Fund 101. When we talk about total market index funds, there are actually quite a lot out there, even under the Vanguard umbrella. You might have heard of VTI, Vanguard Total Stock Market ETF. Or if you're investing via your company's 401k, you might have seen a fund like VTSAX, Vanguard Total Stock Market Index Fund Institutional. And a question you might have is this: how are these different from VTSAX? Should I be investing in VTI? I seem to be hearing them more often these days. Or what if my company only offers VTSAX? Is that okay? Well, good news, my friend. They're actually all the same fund. More specifically, they're all just different share classes of the same fund. Today, VTSAX is the most widely known ticker when we talk about Vanguard Total Stock Market Index Fund. However, VTSAX is actually just one of the class shares. It is an Admiral share class. Vanguard launched its first index fund in 1976. It tracked the S&P 500, 500 of the largest companies in America. At the time, such a fund was considered very non-traditional because the whole industry was built around managers actively picking companies, not just letting some index determine the composition of a fund. Thus, they called it Bogle's folly, and rightly so at the time, because against an initial target of $150 million they wanted to raise for the fund, they only were able to attract $11 million. A clear sign that nobody really wanted this. However, with time, more and more people started to see the common sense genius behind the simple approach of just tracking the market at low cost versus trying to beat the market. Thus, the fund grew to one of the largest in the industry. Then Vanguard, of course, started to ask the natural follow-up question. The S&P 500 covered roughly 80% of the US stock market by market capitalization. What about the other 20%? The mid-sized companies, the small ones. Why not own all of them too? Thus, in 1992, Vanguard launched the Vanguard Total Stock Market Index Fund, the first fund under Vanguard umbrella to give retail investors access to the entire US stock market in a single product. And since then, not only does the fund grow, as mentioned earlier, to a $2.2 trillion giant that it is today, it also developed different share classes within it to better serve different types of investors more efficiently. And this is the reason why we have different tickers of essentially the same fund: VTSAX, VTI, VTSX. Let me talk briefly about what these different share classes are and how they differ. VTSAX is the Admiral shares of the Vanguard Total Stock Market Index Fund. This is the one that most investors are probably familiar with, and the one that I refer to most because it's the one that's been around the longest. It carries an expense ratio of 0.04%, essentially $4 for every $10,000 invested, and has a minimum investment of $3,000. It is the most vanilla option of all the share classes because it is not only easily accessible to pretty much everyone, it functions like a very boring mutual fund that it is. Priced once a day, available for automatic contribution, and no bid-ask spread. Moving on, we have VTI, the ETF shares of Vanguard Total Stock Market Index Fund, thus known as the Vanguard Total Stock Market ETF. And if you're a younger investor, you might actually be more familiar with VTI than VTSAX. ETFs are a newer financial instrument than mutual funds and have been very popular with younger investors. So what is the key difference from VTSAX? Well, for one, believe it or not, it has a lower expense ratio of 0.03%. It is only 1 basis point, but hey, who doesn't like saving money? And two, unlike VTSAX, there is no minimum. You can get started with as little as $1 today. But apart from the expense ratio at minimum, here is the key difference from its Admiral share sibling, the VTSAX. VTI, because it is an ETF, has the ability to trade on a stock exchange throughout the day, just like a share of Apple or any other company. And this isn't just at one price that a share like VTSAX is limited to. At any price throughout the day. A price that can and does change. But as you can guess, this can cut both ways. While the flexibility to trade throughout the day is nice, if you're a type that is tempted to market time, you can spend precious time monitoring the market all day. This is my personal take on VTI. Whether we like it or not, the industry as a whole is moving in this direction. In 2025, ETFs attracted $1.5 trillion in net new money. In the same year, mutual funds lost $500 billion. VTI led the entire ETF industry in inflows at $38 billion. And I see why. ETFs gives you all the benefits of a mutual fund with more bells and whistles. No minimum, lower cost, more flexibility. Thus, VTI will likely be the default total market fund in the near future. I used to be a bit hesitant of ETFs, and VTI specifically, because Vanguard didn't allow for fractional shares and automatic contribution. A big must in my book. But in recent years, they've updated their features so now you can set up automatic recurring contributions to VTI the same as VTSAX. So at this point, it is more of a personal decision. And to make the transition from VTSAX to VTI easier, Vanguard even allows you to convert VTSAX to VTI seamlessly without triggering capital gains events. Though the other way, VTI to VTSAX will trigger capital gains. Regardless, I want to be clear here. Whether you choose VTSAX or VTI really does not matter. If you're sure that you have the self-discipline to ignore short-term volatility, VTI is an excellent, slightly cheaper choice. But if you know yourself well enough to know you might panic sell on a red day, or be tempted to waste time watching the market because all that fluctuation constantly pulls at you, just go with VTSAX and be done with. Over the long run, it is your behavior that will make the biggest difference, not the specific share class. Alright, next share class of Vanguard Total Stock Market Index Fund. We have the institutional shares, VITSX, VSMPX, VSTSX. These are built, as the share name states, for institutional investors. Think of large corporate retirement plans, pension funds, or university endowments. Thus, if you were to look these up, you'll see minimums starting at $5 million, going all the way up to $5 billion. And because of their economy of scale, they're able to offer even lower expense ratios, 0.03%, 0.02%, and even 0.01%. Now, I'm pretty sure that not many of you watching this video have a portfolio of $5 billion. I mean, if you did, why in the world are you watching my videos? But this does not mean you can't have access to these institutional share classes. If your company's benefits department did their job well, you might already have access to them inside your 401k. And if you do, take it. You're getting the exact same portfolio as VTSAX, but at an even lower cost. The best of both worlds. The bottom line here is this. When we talk about Vanguard Total Stock Market Index Fund, recognize that VTSAX is just one of the shares within this broader fund. Yes, I often use it as a shorthand for the whole fund, but broadly speaking, I'm also including all the other share classes within it. VTI, VITSX, VSMPX, and VSTSX. Alright, with that cleared up, now let me get into the core reasons why a fund like VTSAX is the only fund most people will ever need. But before we get there, you probably noticed that we're covering a lot of ground here. So I have a free gift for you. I put together a free PDF guide that summarizes everything we're covering here. What Vanguard Total Stock Market Index Fund is, the different share classes within it, and its major features that make it such a great investment vehicle. To download it, just go to the link in the description below. It is completely free. Just my gift to you for spending your precious time with me today. And if you want to take your financial life to the next level, I highly recommend you check out the Financial Tortoise community. It is a private membership community for serious, like-minded people who want to move beyond just consuming financial content passively and want to actually build wealth intentionally. Inside, you get access to full course library, live Q&A sessions, and direct one-on-one access to me. However, in order to maintain the experience of the highest quality, enrollment is limited and only opens a few times a year. So if you'd like to be the first to be notified when doors open next, join the waitlist at financialtortoise.com/community. I'll have the link in the description below. The first reason why VTSAX is the only fund most people will ever need. Maximum diversification. When you buy Vanguard Total Stock Market Index Fund, You're buying approximately 3,500 to 4,000 companies in a single transaction. Every publicly traded company in the United States, from the largest companies like Apple, Microsoft, Nvidia, to thousands of smaller companies you likely have never heard of. Every market cap, large, mid, small, micro, you own them all. And to me, this is most important primarily not because of what you own, but because of what you don't have to own. You don't need a separate large cap fund and a separate small cap fund and a separate mid cap fund. You don't need to figure out the right allocation between them. You don't need to rebalance between them. One fund and you're done. Reason number 2, self-cleansing. This, I feel, is one of the most underappreciated qualities of a total market index fund. When a company starts failing, its stock prices drop. As the stock prices drop, its weight in the index shrinks. Eventually, if a company fails completely, it disappears from the fund entirely, replaced automatically by the next company that qualifies. No fund manager makes this call. No committee convenes. It is a natural, automatic byproduct of how the index is constructed. Meanwhile, on the other end of the spectrum, when a company grows, when it innovates and creates value and its stock prices climb, it automatically earns a larger share of your portfolio. You don't have to try to identify it early. If you own VTSAX, you already own it. Reason number 3, rock bottom cost. We referred to this earlier when we talk about the different share classes. How pretty much all the different share classes of the Vanguard Total Stock Market Index Fund are super cheap, with the most expensive being VTSAX at 0.04%. On a $10,000 investment, that is $4 a year. On $100,000, it's $40. On $1 million, it's $400. Compared to the industry average expense ratio of roughly 1% for actively managed funds, that is the difference between paying $400 and paying $10,000 on a $1 million portfolio every single year. Compound that out decades, and now you're talking about tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars. Reason number 4, performance. One of the main arguments for actively managed funds charging exorbitant amounts in fees is that they can outperform the market. Outperform a simple fund like the Vanguard Total Stock Market Index Fund. But is that actually true or just a marketing gimmick? Let's actually look at the data. Every year, S&P Dow Jones Indices publishes its SPIVA scorecard, measurement of how professional active fund managers perform against their benchmarks. According to their data, over a 5-year period, roughly 85% of active large cap managers underperform their benchmark. Stretch that to 10 years, that number climbs to approximately 90%. How about 20 years? Roughly 92% of domestic active funds underperform the market. Essentially, less than 1 in 10 active managers can consistently outperform a simple index fund that tracks the market. And we have to note, these are not struggling amateur investors. These are professionals with Bloomberg terminals and research teams and decades of experience whose entire job is to pick the right stocks. But if only 1 in 10 can consistently beat the market, what does that tell you? Reason number 5, Vanguard's unique structure. This one is more Vanguard specific, but worth noting. Most investment firms serve 2 masters, the company owners and the investors in their funds. When those interests disagree, what do you think normally happens? Most often, the investor loses. Fidelity is a private company owned by the founding Johnson family. Fidelity needs to be profitable for its owners. BlackRock is publicly traded and answers to its shareholders. Similarly, Charles Schwab is also publicly traded and answers to its shareholders. When any of these firms face pressure to grow profits, the cost is most often borne by the investors in their funds, via increased costs, reduced services, or new sexy products designed to generate more revenue than more value. The incentive to extract profit from investors never fully goes away when there are outside owners to satisfy. Well, Vanguard is structured differently. Jack Bogle built it from the beginning as a client-owned firm. Vanguard is owned by its funds, and its funds are owned by its investors. You and I own Vanguard when we invest with it. There are no outside shareholders demanding profit. The firm operates at cost, the minimum required to run the funds, nothing more. And this is not a marketing claim. It actually shows up in the numbers. In early 2025, Vanguard made the largest round of fee cuts in history, at an estimated cost of $350 million. No publicly traded asset manager can afford to do that. A publicly traded company that voluntarily gives up $350 million in revenue would face the pushback from its shareholders. Vanguard did it because its shareholders are its investors, and lower fees for investors is the entire point. Okay, so at this point, Hopefully I've convinced you enough that Vanguard Total Stock Market Index Fund really is the only fund you will ever need. I firmly believe that it should be a core component of all growth-oriented portfolios. However, not everyone's situation is the same, and not everyone's worldview is the same. So let me talk about some other supplements to this fund, as well as what to do if you don't have access to this fund. Let's talk about the rest of your portfolio. VTSAX is a centerpiece, but a portfolio can have more than one piece, and depending on your life stage and your goals, there are a few additions worth considering. First is bonds. If you're knee-deep in your wealth accumulation phase, and you have a long time horizon until withdrawal, 10 plus years, you likely do not need bonds. The volatility that comes with a fund like VTSAX is your friend. However, as you get closer to your withdrawal phase, you probably want to start adding bonds to not only smoothen out the ride, but also to create additional runway. The Vanguard Total Bond Market Index Fund VBTLX, or its ETF BND, is a natural pairing with VTSAX. Simple, low cost, broad exposure to the US bond market. Second is international. VTSAX covers every single company in the United States stock market, but that is only the US stock market. The global stock market is approximately $130 trillion, and while the US market occupies approximately 60% of it, the other 40% is represented by non-US companies. And if you want exposure to these non-US based companies, you need additional exposure. Well, great news. Vanguard has the Vanguard Total International Stock Index Fund, VTIAX, or its ETF equivalent, VXUS. VTIAX is essentially an international counterpart to VTSAX. Where VTSAX owns every publicly traded company in the United States, VTIAX owns thousands of companies outside of it. Currently over 8,000 stocks across more than 40 countries. Developed markets like Japan, the United Kingdom, Canada, and Germany. Emerging markets like China, India, and Brazil. Large household names you recognize, Toyota, Nestle, Samsung, LVMH, plus thousands of smaller companies you have never heard of. All of it in one fund. In addition to a bond fund for stability and an international fund for additional exposure, you can pretty much add anything else you want. Of course, an asset that augments your portfolio, not overcomplicate it. But regardless, if growth is a major priority for you, a fund like the Vanguard Total Stock Market Index Fund should still take the center stage. Alright, but what if you don't have access to the Vanguard Total Stock Market Index Fund? What then? Let's talk about some VTSAX alternatives. Yes, not everyone might have access to Vanguard funds. Your 401k might be through Fidelity or Schwab. Your brokerage might not offer Vanguard mutual funds directly. That is fine. The philosophy matters more than the specific fund family. Here are a few specific alternatives that have essentially the same features. At Fidelity, FSKAX is the total market equivalent, and F0X goes one step further with a zero expense ratio. At Schwab, SWTSX covers the same ground. SCHB, the Schwab US Broad Market ETF if you want the ETF version. From iShares, ITOT tracks the S&P Total Market Index and trades as an ETF. From State Street, SPTM, the SPDR portfolio, S&P 1500 Composite Stock Market ETF. It covers approximately 90% of the US market at 0.03% expense ratio. If for some reason even these are not available, look for these two things to find something similar. 1. Broadest exposure. Ideally, you want a fund that tracks the total market. Something with total market or broad market in the name. However, if that is not available, a fund that tracks the S&P Composite 1500 or the S&P 500 is almost as good. You're still getting 80 to 90% of the US stock market by market cap. 2. Low cost. Essentially, lowest possible expense ratio. There is no reason to pay more than 0.1% for a passive index fund today. The whole point of indexing is to keep as much of the market return as possible. Find the fund that checks both boxes. You have found your VTSAX equivalent. Thank you guys for watching, and in the theme of best funds, specifically Vanguard funds, if you want to learn more about what I consider the best Vanguard funds to buy and hold forever, please check out my video here. Until next time, all the best.